Hello you guys, welcome to today's video. Thank you for clicking on today's video. In today's video, I feel like I didn't really do the mini Jawbreaker palette by Jeffree Star as much justice as I could have, which I stated in my previous video, and it wasn't necessarily as much of a tutorial as it was a review of this lovely palette. Yes, but I'm going to walk you guys through how I completed this look, which shades I used on my lids, all from this little palette right here, and also which shades I used on my lips. So, since, this is a video that's once again dedicated to the Mini Jawbreaker palette by Jeffree Star, I want to get the large version also. I don't know if you guys have seen the large version, I'm sure you have, unless you're living under a rock that isn't quite so metaphorical, but this is what it looks like. This is the one I have on top, as you can see, yes. But we will go ahead and get lips out of the way, since this is dedicated to the Mini Breaker palette. But, okay. It kind of gave like a lip liner effect, which I'm certainly not mad at. I started off with this purple shade. It's the only way to describe it is purple, total purple. The shade name is Entice, and it's by LAC. I've used it a few times on my channel, but it has been a minute since I've gone this dark, and this colorful, this pop of color fullness. Okay, and then I did because I was like, okay, the eyes started off as hot pink or whatever, as you can see on my lids, but we'll get to that momentarily. But then it just turned into, turned into / evolved into like more of a peacock fantasy than I had originally anticipated, but also not mad at. So I was like, peacock. So I used my 470 peacock. That's a demi matte by CoverGirl. She's always been really good to me, and I'm gonna have to get a new one of hers soon. Actually, that's actually one of my most frequently used lipsticks that I've ever used on my channel. And then I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing her, but Buxom knows her finishing touches to a lip step. But no, but this is, to top it off, I just used this plumping lip polish by Buxom, as I previously said, and the shade is just full on. And yes, it has notes of like pinks and reds and purples and stuff like that, but I think it really just completed the look. Okay, enough about lips. Let's get to those eyes, everybody. To start off with, and I'll just gesture with my Ipsy brush that just so happens to match this palette. You can see I'm not lying, and that the shades all match up according to the brushes that I used and the placement of said brushes. But okay, to start off with, I just layered bubblegum. I did a couple layers on my lids. I packed those lids completely. As you can see, kind of as not quite a cut crease, but it gives the illusion of one because it's such a lighter contrasting shade on those lids. I love this finished look. It's not really for all blondes. All the orange / yellow shades you're seeing in my hair are from bronzer and contour and blush and the whole thing. Not a brassy bitch. As you can see at my roots, but then you see like pieces that have hit my face and stuff have little tinges of yellow. But what are you gonna do? That's just what happens whenever you do makeup. But what was this? Okay, now let's get serious about those shades. We used bubblegum, like I was previously mentioning. Just gesturing with my Ipsy brush, and it's a beautiful, beautiful hot pink. It's non-metallic. I wanted to start out with a couple of non-metallics. I wanted to use mattes, okay? So, then we moved on from bubblegum, and from bubblegum I used Purple Punch right in the very center, as you can see. Right there, and what I did was I blended that up to my brow bone line on each side, and then just fanned it down to my desired effect, smoked it out, however you want to put it. And then to top that off, I used Bite Me right here, in the very center on the bottom row, Bite Me, and that's what I kind of like, just to add a little bit of a highlighting effect, because it was a little bit too matte for me. Like, everywhere else on my face was matte, as well as my lips, and that's why the two first lipsticks that I used are mattes. The last one, it has a shimmering effect, because I love a good highlighted effect. Okay, yep. I think I'm a robot. I think I'm officially a robot. I don't know what's wrong with me. But, no, I'm just really excited. I think this is a really, really pretty look. I think it is an attainable look for anyone and everyone. But, and then I dove into Oral, the shade right here that I used before, previously. I'm gesturing with this, like I said. There we go. She focused, I believe. But then I used that as a pop of color and a highlighting shade on the inner creases, as well as actually on all of my this crease, this crease, this crease, and this crease. All those inner creases. And then, I actually used this brush for that part. I forgot to say this is just a Wet n Wild, I believe it's called crease brush. But yes, that's what I used for that one. For highlight, as I was saying, for highlight, which I rarely do, but I was like, I'm just going to do a minimal amount of highlight because I feel like this is a lot of purple / blue for some people, and some people it might be too much of a peacock fantasy for some people. Anyway, but I was like, well, I mean, I know I've used this quite a lot, and it's almost completely out, but I was like, why not? It's this Fenty Beauty Kilowatts Edition Chills. Yes, I always forget which way you guys can see it correctly, but that's what I used on that Cupid's bow, as you can see, as well as on my nose ever so slightly, so it would make that contour pop, and as well as right above my blush, bronzer, and contour line on my cheeks, and then I traced it as well. I believe I used this brush, which is just a Wet n Wild brow something brush, I believe. I forget the name of it, but it is by Wet n Wild, as you can see, and that's what I traced to use my highlight with. I'll just do it a little bit more to mime it. But I traced my brows like this to shape them up a little bit better, as well as to pack that highlight onto that onto the very peak of that cheekbone, just like that. And then out to there, and then I used my cheek blush brush, which is what I use for blush, and just sort of fanned it out like that, to where it didn't look quite so stark as it normally does. I'm in love with this look. I think it's beautiful, I think it's attainable, I definitely think it's a good pop of color makeup tutorial, and I was like, yeah, you know, I used these two shades last time, Oral and Slice, and the video previous to this one, the most recent video to this one on my channel, actually. But yeah, I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do the Mini Breaker palette justice, I'm going to need to do a few colors, and some pinks, and some purples, and some metallics, and some mattes, and the whole thing. And I think that she did that. But until next time, you guys, I'm totally feeling that peacock fantasy. I think this green fan totally makes it, just brings the look together, as well as this black Motorhead dusty shirt I'm wearing with cat hair and dog hair all over it. I think it just really completes the look. Just gonna let my hair kind of fall down accordingly, give her a couple more pops, and just say thank you, Mini Breaker. You've been very good to me. I love you. Just mind that kiss. You guys know that already. But until next time, you guys, Steven Ice thinks that you're all so very nice. Still working on the outro. Just to get all the good angles, and the highlight, and the blush, and the bronze, and where that contour is, just so you guys can see the snatcherella of this of it all. Okay, so I'm well aware of the fact that I already did my outro, but I realized when I got off camera that my hair looks way better with this look pushed back, so yeah, this is gonna be my outro now.